This is the 888.com Weber Cup at the Barnsley Metrodome, and the USA and Europe are all square. Yeah, it's one of those tournaments that always gives us drama, and a capacity crowd here in Barnsley saw America go 4 points up in the first session. Since then, Europe have been clawing their way back, and they're now all square.
Team Europe, captained by Mika Koivuniemi, are determined to revenge their defeat last year, and after a disappointing start to the event, they're now looking like strong contenders. Despite back-to-back perfect games from Team USA, they are now failing to deliver those all-important strikes. Last time, Dom Barrett faced Chris Barnes in their fourth encounter this season, and it was a very tight game. In the last frame, Barnes missed his strike, and the Europeans clawed a point back. Then it was the doubles game as team captain Mika Koivuniemi and Martin Larsson took on Bill O'Neill and Mike Fagan. Team USA struggled with an open frame and 4 spares, while Team Europe held their nerve to secure another point and draw level again. Well, confirmation of the scores so far in our penultimate session, the momentum seems to be very much with the Europeans, and so far they've won 3 out of the first 4 games. It's now 11 apiece, and they could now take the lead for the first time since the opening game this year.
And now it's time to welcome Team Europe's Martin Larsson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, representing Team USA, Mike Fagan. Right, we'll have a quick chat with both the players before this next singles match gets underway. Mike, is this perhaps the most important Weber Cup match you've ever played in, bearing in mind the scores are now level?
We want to keep the lead, and I'm going to do everything in my power so that we can regain the lead. So I'm going to give it my all this match.
Okay, how do you assess your personal form over the course of this tournament here in Barnsley this weekend?
I think I'm warming up. I had a few good games early, and I got into a little bit of a rut yesterday, but I feel good about my form, and hopefully I can bowl a big one here.
Mike, stay there. Martin, you played on this lane a few moments ago. Does that help in terms of getting a feel for the conditions?
Yeah, that helps a lot. It's one of the really tough things about Weber Cup is that you just throw a couple of shots every now and then. You never really get warm. So both me and Mike have bowled now, so hopefully we can bowl a good game.
Okay, thanks very much to both of you. We are ready to get going on our next game here at the Weber Cup. Let's hand you over to our commentators, Cass Edwards and Andy Bodfish.
Europe looking for another point, another singles victory after Dom Barrett got the better of Chris Barnes in match 21, the third match of this particular session. And, speak of the devil, guess he's just slid in behind us up here in the commentary box at the Barnsley Metrodome. The man himself, the man in form, Europe's top player at present, Dom Barrett. Excellent victory over Chris Barnes earlier.
Yeah, it's been a really good Weber Cup for us after the first day. We have some momentum going now, and it was really important to bowl some very good shots at the end of that game to put all the pressure on Chris. And Chris didn't throw his best shot, but it's also pretty tough to sit there waiting on the lane when it's going to be changing so fast.
Yeah, we thought it was a great 3 strikes in a row to put the pressure on Barnes when he had to double, but couldn't manage either of those. So Martin's off to a great start here with 10 in the pocket. Larsen high through the head pin, leaving the 4 and the 7 pin, so that can only be a spare. Dom, pretty good year for yourself so far.
Yeah, it has been. Been bowling out in the States now for the past 3 years, and it does definitely take some time to adjust. Even though I won the title and we've had some really good success there, you do have to do certain things to change your game slightly so you're able to go and compete with the best in the world, and that's taken a little bit of time, I think, and my results weren't quite as good as they were a few years ago, and there's a bit of a transition period. But this last few months I've been bowling really well, leading the European rankings again, and won a European Tour title a couple of weeks ago.
Absolutely, yeah. I was going to say, how's it on the European Tour? I know because I watched the scores, and yeah, you had a big win in the Netherlands as well, and the 300 game, I believe, as well.
Yeah, I turned up into Vienna after a couple of good weeks in Bratislava and bowled 300. So it's always nice to have a nice game like that. But I also bowled my highest 6-game block ever as well, to be beaten by Osku by 30 pins a few days later.
It's the way of the world, and it's a funny old game, isn't it?
Yeah, and Osku's, I know he's missing being here. He's still bowling really well. He's been sending us messages, wishing us all the luck in the world, and hopefully we can use some of that and the good wishes to come out on top this year.
Yeah, I understand, things have been good, but it's been great at this tournament for you. You're leading the strikes ladder with 44 at the moment, so you're pretty much lined up on this lane. You've had some decent scores and lots of strikes.
Well, yeah, it's really surprising, because normally Tommy takes that away, striking as much as he does. So, yeah, it's a nice stat to have. I don't think about that too much. It's more just get on that lane and try and beat that opponent.
And Dom, it's your 6th appearance in the Weber Cup this year. Experienced campaigner in this unique format, the single lane format. How does it really compare to the other tournaments you play in on either side of the pond throughout the year?
There is nothing that we've had this set out, this environment, nothing in the entire world that we ever played that is as close as this. The people are so great. You see them there just cheering for both teams. It's just a fantastic tournament. It's something that we look forward to all year long. It's fantastic. And
in any sport, they talk about the beauty of pacing yourself after the, let's be honest, disaster of that opening session. It's now back to 11 all as Martin plays Mike Fagan here. It seems like you're pacing yourself perfectly here with this singles match, another doubles to come, and then of course the final session.
Yeah, that's right. You say we had the worst start in history of the Weber Cup. I'm sure it was awful. The first, we won the Baker. We've won every Baker so far. And then they bowled 300. That wasn't really what was so frustrating, in part because they bowl a good game. You're not going to win if someone bowls 300. That's just reality. Is the last 3 games that we lost, they were the ones that really hurt. We went to bed that night. I don't think any one of us were very happy. We knew exactly what we had to do the next day and just come out and just bowl as good as we can, ignore what they do, and that's all we've been doing since then.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Great looking shot so far. That's the situation as the match stands. Just the 10 pins down for Mike Fagan, just because he's got 2 spares and Larsen's got 2 strikes. That's the maximums if they can both strike off. Larsen will be looking for a double here.
Yeah, Martin started to bowl really well now. You can see that in that last doubles match. He's starting to feel much more comfortable. And you can see there his reaction as well, his body language, everything's looking very positive, and I'm really happy to have Martin and part of this team.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And he's starting to settle down and getting some reaction in the back end, which is always good for bowlers. And look at that body language. Martin Larsen at his best.
Looking good for Europe at present. 4th frame for Mike Fagan. 1 strike so far, came in the 2nd, and that's another. So the USA in touch. And last time I'm going to mention this to the Team Europe boys, I promise, but Cass and I have spoken about it once or twice this weekend. Going back over the scores from last year, what on earth happened in 2012?
Yeah, that's a great question. We look back at that, and not one of our best days, that's for sure. We were coming into the Sunday session. The last 2 sessions we were still feeling okay, we were still positive. And to be very honest with you, after the first session this year, that's exactly how we felt last year. It was the same thing, they had the same ball motion, the same strikes. We didn't feel like we had anything. And we were, a little bit concerned that we didn't want to turn it into another one of what happened last year. So we we started taking small positives. You know, as funny as it was, we wanted to get past that 7 mark, and when we did, we were happy that we go into the last session this time, and just little goals like that, really. Just try and get level. We were 4 down. We're now level again. We were level once before, and now we're going to try and get out in front of them.
Dom, I'm just before we let you go, because you're up in the next doubles match with Stu Williams. 2 UK players with PBA titles. How about that?
Yeah, that was a great day. There was pre-taped TV shows over in the States, and Stu had his 4 hours before mine, and we both did it on the same day. It was fantastic. You know, it was a great World Series for both of us, and we've been bowling very well in the States since then and before then too, and it's just been unbelievable. From the experience that we've had from winning that tour title and what we've put towards doing that, you know, we dream of that. There's no Englishman who had done it before Stuart, and I was just behind, but not too far. It was, you know, a big achievement for both of us.
Another strike there from Martin Larsson, 4 in a row from the Swede. Thanks very much indeed to Dom Barrett, who heads down to prepare for his doubles match alongside Stu Williams. They'll be up against Tommy Jones and Chris Barnes. Some really interesting insight there from Europe's leading player of the present, Europe's form player coming into the Weber Cup. Well, Europe, in terms of this singles matchup, have their noses ahead. Frame 6 here for Mike Fagan. Strike. 3 in a row.
Yes, getting back to the match now. There is still only a 10-pin deficit for Mike Fagan of the USA. Larsen's gone 4 strikes in a row. There you can see Fagan's score. 3 strikes so far. Strikes and spares all the way.